shiddatun qat. Has any hardship ever come upon you? All of it will be forgotten through one dip into paradise, and for the disbeliever, one dip in the hellfire. That is the vision that we need to look forward and concentrate upon. Every item has a price, because many Muslims at the moment are carrying a tazkira ila Jannah, are carrying a ticket to paradise, or believe because of the purification of their aqa'id, of their belief, of clinging to the sunnah, of clinging to certain aspects, we have become the people of paradise. That is the way, excuse my expression tonight, the way of the Jews. نَحْنُ شَعْبُ اللَّهِ مُخْتَارٍ. We are the chosen children of God. Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, in all of his works of aqa'id, al-Tadammuriyya, al-Hamawiyya, al-Wasitiyya, Kitab al-Iman, on many occasions he highlights, I hope and I aspire to be amongst the saved sect, firqatun najiyah, amongst those people who enter into paradise. This is Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, that no two true scholars will ever differ about his aqa'id, his belief. Yet he writes in his works, I hope and I aspire to be amongst those people. Yet we have the audacity to say that we are people of paradise. Or we have definitely made it to paradise. وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةِ وَسَعَادَهَا. Whoever wants the akhirah and races for that akhirah, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَأُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. And an individual is a believer, then that striving and that struggling is one that will be rewarded for. Every single commodity has a price. So Jannah is not going to come through not necessarily just textual reading. Jannah will not come through aspiring to the teachings of Islam. أَلَا إِنَّ سِلْأَةَ اللَّهِ غَالِيَةٌ. Indeed, the commodity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very, very expensive. That's what occurs in the hadith. And the commodity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nothing less but paradise. إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bought from the believers. Read the ayat of Surah At-Tawbah. Bought their souls and given them in return paradise. What are the actions that these people do that they become the people of paradise? حُفَّتِ الْجَنَّةُ بِالْمَكَارِهِ. Paradise has been surrounded by disliked things. وَحُفَّتِ النَّارِ بِالشَّهَوَاتِ. And the fire has been surrounded by desires and lusts. And the whole essence of this hadith is that when Jibreel alayhi salam went and saw paradise, said, Ya Rab, whoever sees paradise would have a yearning and a desire to enter into paradise, and shrouded with difficulties. Whoever sees Jahannam will feel scared and want to refrain from it, surrounded by lust and by desires. So people are overtaken by it. And the ulama highlight, what is al-makarih? What is the difficult things that Jannah is surrounded by? Al-ijtihad fil ibadat. To strive in actions of worship. Qazmul ghayb. To control your anger. To control your soul. Al-afu. To forgive humanity and to forgive people. Was-sabr an al-shahawat. And to control yourself when lust and desires fall in front of you. As for those people who believe that to make it to paradise is only al-hub, is love. This is a dangerous belief, as the ulama have highlighted, is the way of the heretics, the zanadiqa. People who believe that Islam is only love. That is the way of the Christians. That you only love Christ, and because of your love towards him, you'll make it to paradise. And likewise the Muslims as well. I love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that is sufficient for me to gain his intercession and I'll make it to paradise. Amma al-khawf, then that is the way of the Murji'ah, another deviant sect amongst the Muslims. The belief of the creed of Ahlul Sunnah is the belief of the mu'min. It's between love, hope and fear. That you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the things that He has bestowed upon you. You fear Him that you may have made those mistakes, and all of us have made mistakes in our lives. And you hope that He will forgive us and enter us into paradise. It's all joined together in the way of Ahlul Sunnah. لا يدخل أحدا منكم عمله الجنة. None of you, your actions will take you to paradise. Even you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, except for that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enshrouds you with His mercy. That does not mean we do not try and strive to bring certain actions in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The parable is of like one who brings action and says, look, Ya Rab, I tried to the best of my ability. And this is amongst the principles of Usul al-Fiqh. And a verse inside the Quran. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the best of your ability. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the constraints and the restrictions upon every single human being. And even if you look at the ayat which talk about racing towards paradise, you find inside those ayat actions that the believer needs to do. وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضِ. Seek or race one another in gaining that paradise from your Lord. وَجَنَّةٍ, that paradise whose width is like the heavens and the earth. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, which has been prepared for the believers. And then comes the sifat. Then comes the descriptions of those people who deserve paradise. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, prepared for the believers. Ulama of Ahlul Sunnah highlight that paradise has already been created according to this verse. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. That is the sifat of the believers who make it to paradise, who spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a state of when they have the wealth. And when they don't have the wealth, they spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ, those who control their anger. وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, those who forgive humanity. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, they are the ones that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them. In another location we find, سَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا كَعَرْضِ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ أُعِدَّتْ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ. Racing one another in gaining the forgiveness of your Lord and gaining that paradise whose width is like the heavens and the earth. أُعِدَّتْ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ, prepared for those people who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. What is the preparation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? أعددت لعبادي الصالحين ما لا عين رأت ولا أذن سمعت ولا خطر على قلب بشر. I have prepared for my believing servants ما لا عين رأت, what no eye has seen, ولا أذن سمعت, what no ear has heard, ولا خطر على قلب بشر, and even the thought and the perception has not appeared or come on the hearts of humanity. فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُمْ, no soul knows what has been prepared for it, or what is lying in wait for the individual. مِنْ قُرَّةِ يَعْيُنْ جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, the coolness and the tenderness for the eyes, جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, a reward because of what they used to do. That is the key factor. جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, because of what these people, the actions that these people that they used to do. And thus you find that paradise is open on Yawmul Ithnain wa Yawmul Khamis. On Monday and Thursday, the doors of paradise are swung open. And ask for paradise. If you ask for paradise, then ask for the highest part. Al-Firdaus al-A'la. Because above Firdaus al-A'la is the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the rivers of paradise flow from there. And I'm sure that the descriptions have been touched upon. And if you want to read more descriptions, refer to the work of Sahih Muslim of Kitab al-Jannah wa Sifatu Na'imiha wa Ahliha, the book of Jannah, and the description, the delights of those people of paradise.